They said if I hold the camera just like this at this very, very angle with my face facing directly at the camera, I'll get a lot of views on YouTube. But anyway, the topic of the video, man, that I want to talk about is fault finding versus accountability. Now, when it comes to accountability is basically you owning up to the wrongdoings of your life, owning up to your own mistakes, you turning away from a specific behavior that led to negative choices, right? Accountability is you just acknowledging the wrong you did and fixing what you did wrong with better behavior or doing something to make a situation better, right? So when it comes to fault finding, that's basically what it sounds like, right? As it sounds, you find fault in others. But see, there's an era when it comes to fault finding. When you always look for fault in others, but you never find the fault in yourself, then you don't have any type of character development. Like, you don't really value accountability as much, because what happens when something is your fault? Are you going to place the blame on yourself? Are you going to look yourself in the mirror and be honest the wrong that you did? Because it's easy to find fault in others. It's easy to find fault in what the world is doing. It's easy to find fault, on what's going wrong in the world, in society. Like, it's easy to nitpick until it's time to nitpick your own faults, right? It's easy to look for mistakes in others and to be, critiquing of others. But what about when it comes to your own life? What about examining the wrong that you've done? What about examining your own deficiencies? Examining your own faults? Because, like I said in my past video, accountability is a lot of people's kryptonite. And when accountability comes knocking at your front door, you don't want to face it. Why? Because it's easy to blame others. It's easy to point fingers at other people, why things are not going the way it's supposed to go in your life. But this is where you got to do the examination on your own life, and to spot out the people that's not supposed to be there in your life, first and foremost, the people that are distractions, the bad habits that you are operating in, finding fault like that. Or it could be your mindset. Your mindset could be very weak. It could be your attitude problem. It could be weight issues, whatever the case is. Your lack of faith. That's a major one right there. You expect things to go right in your life, but you have a lack of faith. You don't have that confidence in a higher power, the Most High, that source, that He will guide you in the right direction, that He will give you what you asked for. But you get mad when things don't go your way. You get mad when you don't get what you want out of life because of that lack of faith, right? And then that turned into a lack of patience. You became impatient because you couldn't wait long for it. You couldn't endure long for it. So those are things those are just simple things that you can examine about yourself. Understand? Before you try to go and finding fault in others, accusing people of doing things and being this way, how about for once you accuse yourself? Accuse yourself of the wrong that you did in your life, because that right there goes a long way. That goes a long way in building your character. Because when you hold yourself accountable and admit the wrong that you did in your life, it's like you let a weight off. A weight off your shoulders gets released. You start to move lightly. You start to think a little bit clearly now, because you ain't got that unnecessary burden, that weight on your shoulders. You know, you can't really live right if you're too busy nitpicking others all day. You're on social media being a goddamn troll, nitpicking everyone's every move, nitpicking everyone's faults, nitpicking everyone's, how the way they do things. You're always criticizing how people say things, move, how they talk, how they do things, but you never look at yourself. You never examine who you are first. Examine who you are first, then talk about somebody else. Take the beam at your own eye first before you start taking beams at other people's eyes. So that's all I gotta say, man, in this video. It's pretty simple. It's a pretty simple, attitude adjustment, and it's not that hard to examine who you are first. Examine your past. Because I feel like going around social media that there's a strong spirit of accusation. People accusing things of other people, what they did. They claim that this person did this. They claim that this person's moving this way. It's like, it's all this accusation going on with people. And it's like, you can accuse people of being a certain way or accuse somebody doing this, but do you have any evidence? Do you have any facts to back that up, right? It'd be different if you had those facts, if you had that evidence to back it up, But to accuse people falsely is just wrong. It's very wrong, And so I don't deal with people that very much, where they start being a fault finder, because if you're too quick to find fault in other people, all the time, I'm gonna look at you like, can you find the fault in yourself? Can you see what you're doing wrong first before you try to point the finger at other people in other situations? I mean, we've all done that. I've done that myself. But see, I've learned and grown from that past mistake, because I can look at my life and see the wrong that I've done. I can point the finger at myself and see what I've done that was wrong and fix it accordingly, move better, make better decisions, have a better attitude, have a better mindset. It's not everyone else's fault. It's not the whole world trying to come against me. That's not my mindset. I don't really care what's going on out in the world, what's going on with me. I gotta make sure that I'm in the best shape, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And so that takes a whole process, right? So, accountability is very important to me. And that's the same trait that I look for in other people that I deal with. Friendships, relationships. You gotta have some type of accountability if you're gonna be my friend, if you're gonna be around me, because otherwise, that's something I don't tolerate when it comes to people that lack accountability, that are incapable of looking themselves in a mirror and saying, I was wrong about this. Okay, I did this wrong. I made a mistake. I messed up. Let me fix it. Going forward. Right? So, with that being said, this is Solo Dolo Talks. Make sure y'all smash the like button for the algorithm, and more content is to come. Thank y'all for watching, and peace.